Welcome back, and now we're going to look at our third topic here, increasing and decreasing functions. And we're going to see where a function is increasing and decreasing. The key word there is where. Where means where on the x-axis, what x values. If I want to know what, like what is the maximum, that's a y value. But I want to know where that happens, it's an x value. So we're going to look again at this function here, y equals this right here. I'm not going to say it. I have it entered in my calculator. You probably do too. Anyway, let's look at what it means by increasing and decreasing. So I have a function here, f of x, and I'm going to look at where the function is increasing or decreasing here. And I have the whole function here. We're going to consider this as the end behavior. It's going down that way and up that way. So I think we have a pretty good idea of what increasing and decreasing is. You have to remember that as you go along a graph, you're going from left to right. Okay, that's your general direction. So where you're going up is increasing, and where you're going down is decreasing, right? So what you really need to do to find an interval where it's increasing or decreasing, you're going to have to find the maximums and the minimums, the relative maximums and minimums. Okay, so I'm going to look at this right here as a relative maximum. So that happens at A. And on this graph, it looks like it's going down from A all the way. And here it's kind of hard to tell whether it goes up again. Remember I said a relative minimum has to hold water. And I'm going to consider this not a relative minimum, although it's not obvious. But it goes all the way down to point C, right? So we can see that it's decreasing there. So where is it decreasing is the question. And it's decreasing here. These x values define where it's decreasing. So this function is decreasing. We can say it's decreasing on the interval from A to C. Okay, this is where it's decreasing. Now if I want to look at where it's increasing, it's just the opposite. Remember, I'm still going left to right, so it looks like it's increasing over here, and it looks like it's actually increasing over here, right? So left to right, it's going increasing there. So those x values, or these values here that I'm looking at, where is it increasing? It's increasing on those x values. So now I could write increasing on, now I'm going to put this first one here as negative infinity to A. And I could use a closed bracket there, but either one is fine with me. You don't have to worry about that. And on this one right here, I'm going to start at C, and I'm going to go all the way to infinity. Okay, so that's where it's increasing and decreasing. And I have to have an open bracket here at negative infinity because I never could equal that. But I could have a closed bracket here at A, and I could have a closed bracket here at C, but I don't really care. Okay, let's just do that example then, the equation that we have graphed, and let's find out where that's increasing and decreasing. So this is zoom 6 to get an idea of what that looks like. Oh yeah, that's that fourth degree polynomial. And we're just going to look at where is that function increasing. So I'm going to look once again at this low point. I think if I take my window and I keep it at negative 10 and my maximum, I'm going to put at 1 and zoom 0 on this function. Okay, now if you remember, there was this thing, it actually has a relative maximum right there. So it's going to increase from this point right there to that point right there. So if we're going to find out where this is increasing, we have to find that minimum. So I'm going to do that now. Second, calculate minimum, which is 3, and set my left bound and my right bound. And it found the minimum. Now what we're really concerned about here is where, so that's the x value, so it's negative 7.495548. Okay, now we're going to look at that other maximum there. Okay, we're going to find that maximum, and so I'm going to hit second, calculate maximum, which is 4, and I'm going to zoom in on that other part. And I kind of know where it is because we did this before, but I think it's between, like, say there and maybe 0. Right here. Somewhere in that one, I think we have a maximum. Enter. Okay, and I found a maximum there. So we're going to now state an interval on which it's increasing. So that x value is negative 0.1848667. Okay, I have those written down here. And so there's the relative minimum that we found, relative maximum that we found. And so this is increasing on the interval from negative 7.49558 to negative 0.1848667. Now we could continue and find the other relative maximums and minimums and then find where it's increasing and decreasing. But I think you get the idea. So that concludes our video. So we'll see you next time. One more to go.